Right now, the one welcome to the program from Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit, Mr. Rick Ector. Rick, how are you, sir?
Hey, Cam, man, I'm great. You know what? I'm going to think positive. You know, the snow I saw falling with my very own eyes could not have been real. This is like getting towards late April, and I'm not going to believe my eyes. I did not see snow this morning.
You know, listen, one of my least favorite phrases in all the world is, that's not fair. But Rick, that's just not fair for you guys up there in Detroit. That is just wrong. April 22nd, baseball has started. The Tigers are playing. You guys should be done with the snow.
Hey, I was at the game last night, man, and it rained off and on, and it was cold. You know, the weather was down into the 40s. It might have even dipped into the 30s. It was dreary, and to add insult to injury, we lost to the Yankees of all teams, man. And you know, and I'm hopeful, you know, about, you know, how well our team does, but it didn't hurt so bad when our beloved Red Wings took a 2-1 command. Well, it's not necessarily commanding, but a 2-1 lead in their series. So I'm going for the Red Wings, and I'm a Tiger fan too.
Well, listen, I hope that the Tigers make it all the way to the ALCS before losing in 7 games to the Boston Red Sox. So I hope that they are the second best team in the American League this year. So, listen, I wanted to talk to you about this story out of Ann Arbor. First of all, I thought it was really interesting that we have a pastor there at Christ the King Church in Ann Arbor, Michigan, holding a CPL class there, urging his parishioners to take this course, whether or not they become gun owners or actually carry a firearm for self-defense, but to know more about what's going on. It seems clearly, Rick, not only across the country, but in Michigan, there is a dramatic increase in interest in the right to carry.
Yeah, there definitely is. One thing that I noted, you know, about the story was that I personally felt that it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, I personally, over, you know, the last 9, almost 10 years I've been teaching, you know, over the years, I really can't say how many classes I've taught in the church, but I've taught more than a few. I've taught several classes in the church. Quite a few of my colleagues, fellow firearms trainers, have done so as well. One guy I know quite well told me that his first 3 years of teaching was done in a church. You know, as far as teaching in a church, you know, the location really is not an issue. You know, there's no shooting that's happening inside the church. You're just talking about basic fundamental firearm safety. You know, some of the comments that were made, you know, by the presiding pastor of the church was that, hey, we got to realize that, you know, we're not living in the Garden of Eden. You know, he didn't actually say Garden of Eden, but, you know, just to take into account the times that we're in. And he made a lot of statements that he has not recanted, although he accepted the wishes of, you know, his officials, you know, that he reports to out of Lansing. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, he's got to follow orders and do what he's told, but you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with teaching, you know, a CPL class or any other class in the church.
You know, and I'm glad that you talked about the position that the pastor is in, because we live in a day and age where we want to get outraged right away, right, about everything. And I would, as you say, this pastor is in a position where he does have to answer to the bishop who is in charge of the diocese, and he's done so, and he's respected the bishop's wishes. But as you say, he also in his statement didn't say anything about, you know, I was really wrong about what I said. And on his Facebook page, you know, there are a lot of his parishioners who took that course, who thanked him for both, you know, accepting what the bishop said and for offering that course. So I kind of wonder, Rick, if we're not going to see members of that parish sort of continue this and offer classes, just not there at the church itself.
You know, it's not a big issue. You know, and a statement I've heard often throughout my life, you know, is that the devil also goes to church too, man. And if you just do a quick Google, you know, just on Detroit and Michigan area, you'll see that a lot of violent crimes have actually happened in the church. Armed robbers have actually gone into churches in this Metro Detroit area and have actually conducted armed robberies. You know, I talk with various pastors. Some pastors are very forthright and honest and open, and will tell you that they carry firearms while they're teaching their services. As a matter of fact, that NPR piece I did about a week ago, you know, one of the pastors that was also interviewed, you know, he personally doesn't carry a gun, but, he at least allowed, some of his parishioners to do so when they brought it to his attention. I'm not going to get into the hypocrisy of it all, man, but, there's a lot of men of the cloth who do carry. There's some official position that some people in church leadership have about guns and church, but, so be it, And one interesting story that happened to me not too long ago, a few months ago, this lady, she recognized me, because I do a lot of media appearances here locally. And she pulled out her cell phone, man. I was like, what is this lady doing? And she pulled up her Bible app, and she started quoting various scriptures to me, asserting to me that, teaching people how to defend themselves was wrong and immoral. And my favorite, Bible verse is Luke 22:36. If you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and go buy one. The apostles carried swords, the weapons of their day. You know what? We live in a bad, age where predators have no qualms about robbing and victimizing people, whether they're inside of a church or not. But, hey, they have to do what they have to do, man. If that pastor has to, stop doing CPL classes in his church, to follow orders, so be it.
Yeah, but again, I don't think that does anything to eradicate the interest in a concealed carry. If anything, it might heighten that interest that, again, is present not just in Michigan, but really all around the country right now. And I mean, are you seeing this still in Detroit? A lot of folks still, wanting to take their courses and get their carry?
Still enrolling. Still seeing a lot of women doing it, and I applaud them for doing so, taking on a more active role in their personal protection. And, some of the stories that we've seen that have been published in the media, a lot of women have successfully used firearms to protect themselves both inside and outside of the home. And it's a needed trend, and it's going to continue to happen. And I applaud those women for doing that. Community service project I do quite often, at least once a year, is to take women who are just slightly interested in learning more. We give them a range safety briefing for free, and we give them a shooting lesson for free. And I'm going to do another one in about 30 days or so once I get a commitment from a gun range to do it. I can't do these things without, cooperation and donations from my fellow citizens, fellow trainers, and gun ranges willing to work with me.
Well, listen, Rick, we appreciate everything that you are doing, sir, and it was great to get a chance to see you at least momentarily there in Nashville. Hope you had a fantastic time at the annual meetings.
Oh, man, I had a great time at the meeting. Just getting out and just seeing everyone. It's like you guys at Cam & Company, man. A visit to the conference wouldn't be the same if I at least dropped by, shake your hand, and say, good to see you again. It's like a family reunion to me, man, and I really am truly honored that I really have friends literally all over the country that I get to see over that one special weekend, man. And look forward to seeing you guys in Louisville next year.
Well, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you there as well, Rick. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Give my regards to everybody on the show, and I hope we'll be in touch soon. If not, we'll be together in Louisville.
Yes, sir. Rick Ector from Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit join us right here on NRA News, Cam & Company.